Hello and welcome to Parliament News. I'm Gautam Roy. Let's first get you what happened in the lower house of Parliament. That's Lok Sabha, where Lok Sabha proceedings were a virtual washout on Friday as relentless protests by opposition members against the three farm laws continued for another day. Lok Sabha was adjourned first till 6 p.m. after opposition members disrupted the proceedings, demanding repeal of the three farm laws and shouted slogans from the well of the House. As soon as the House convened at 4 p.m., members from the Congress, left parties and the DMK rushed to the well, raising slogans against the new laws and holding placards. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla urged the agitating members to maintain order in the House. The Speaker thanked the country's scientists for making advanced COVID-19 vaccines in such a short period of time and making India proud. He hoped that scientists will continue to make their contributions just like this in future as well. Amid noisy scenes, the Speaker tried to run question hour. Members raised questions related to the Health Ministry and Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan provided responses. He said India has received requests for vaccine supply from 22 nations so far. Out of these, supplies have already been sent to 15 countries as grant assistance as well as contract doses. He added that in the union budget, 35,000 crore rupees have been allocated for vaccination and saving people's lives. As opposition members continued to raise slogans, the Speaker appealed to them to participate in question hour as an important issue related to vaccination was being discussed. While Congress, DMK and left members were in the well, members from the TMC did not participate in raising slogans. Around 4:15 p.m., the Speaker adjourned the House till 6 p.m. With no let-up in the protests when the House reconvened in the evening, the Speaker adjourned his proceedings till Monday after his plea to opposition members to get back to their seats went unheeded. Well, let's now tell you what happened in the upper house as well, with the Rajya Sabha on Friday completed the debate on the motion of thanks on the President's address with the government strongly defending the farm laws, saying its offer to amend them should not be viewed as if there was some flaw in them. With the government saying that the farmers were being misled by the opposition and agitation was only in one state, members of various opposition parties demanded the repeal of the three farm laws. As many as 50 speakers from 25 political parties participated in the debate in the Rajya Sabha on the motion of thanks that lasted over 3 days. 18 members of the BJP, 5 members of the Congress and 27 from other opposition parties participated in the discussion. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is expected to reply to the motion on Monday. Intervening in the motion of thanks on Friday, Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar launched a sharp attack on the Congress, alleging that only the Congress can do farming with blood and not the BJP. Putting up a strong defense of the new farm laws, Tomar said that the government's offer to amend them to assuage farmers' sentiments did not mean they had any flaws, and none from the protesting unions or their sympathizers have been able to point out any lacuna. Countering the opposition's claim that farmers across the country are agitating over the three laws, he said peasants of just one state are being misinformed and instigated. Excuse me. Acknowledging that the three laws are currently a burning issue, senior minister said opposition parties criticized the government and even termed the three legislations as Kala Kanoon or black law. The agriculture minister stressed that the government is committed to the welfare of farmers and to the continuation of the mandi system of procurement of crops on MSP-based mechanism. The laws give farmers alternatives to sell their produce outside mandis, and unlike the state government notified marketplaces, such sale would not attract any tax. The minister also said that the agitation should have been against the tax levied by state government on sale made in mandis, but strangely the protests are against freeing of the system from such taxes. The agriculture minister also said that the central law on contract farming frees farmers from paying taxes on their sale and also empowers them to exit agreements with traders, whereas the provisions of Punjab contract law clearly state that a farmer could be sent to jail or be liable to pay a penalty of about 5 lakh rupees if he violates the agreement. Referring to the law on farm trade, he said it allows farmers to sell their produce outside mandis, including from their own homes, warehouses and farmland, and there will be no state or central tax. He also informed the House that there are state levies for trade inside APMC mandis. The central law is applicable outside the mandis and there are no taxes. Tomar reiterated that the NDA government and the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi are fully committed towards farmers. He said the government has held several rounds of talks with while respecting their protest. He said farmers were asked to tell about problematic provisions in the laws, and the government even tried to anticipate their concerns, like on continuation of APMC and offered solutions. Tomar said the government has made it clear that the APMC system will not be ended. If the government is ready to make amendments, it should not be construed that there are shortcomings in the legislations, he said. But the farmers are protesting and people in one state are victims of misinformation. He also said that farmers have been instigated and misled that these laws would snatch their farmlands. The Agriculture Minister also said that the government has made efforts to double farmers' income and increase share of agriculture sector in the country's GDP. Various opposition parties like the Congress, Shiv Sena, Shiromani Akali Dal, NCP, Samajwadi Party and left parties demanded that the 3 new farm laws be repealed and fresh ones brought after wider consultations. Participating in the debate, the opposition members attacked the government for dubbing the farmers protesting against the law, that is the farm laws, as anti-nationals and for defaming their agitation. Congress MP Mallikarjun Kharge said the government claims in increasing the minimum support price for crops and doubling farmers' income, but data suggests otherwise. Kharge said the schemes such as Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana mentioned in the President's speech were actually ones that benefited capitalists. He termed the government's claim of doubling farmers' income as a jumla, which is a rhetoric. Shiv Sena MP Sanjay Raut alleged that anyone speaking the truth is dubbed as a traitor or anti-national, and that cases of sedition have been slapped against those criticizing the government. Participating in the debate, he said farmers fighting for their rights have been branded as anti-nationals or Khalistanis. He said the farmers who were known as warriors when they fought the Mughals and the British are now dubbed as anti-nationals when they are fighting for their rights on Delhi's borders. The atmosphere in the country today is such that anyone writing the truth is dubbed as a traitor and anti-national, he alleged. Praful Patel of the NCP said the centre and states have together fought the COVID-19 pandemic along with medical professionals, and the mortality rate in the country was low as compared to other countries. He said when the government is talking of working for the welfare of farmers, why did it not send the farm laws to the select committee for wider consultations to avoid the situation that is arisen now? He also clarified that former Agriculture Minister Sharad Pawar's letter of 2007 is being circulated to misrepresent the facts, as no bill was brought to Parliament at that time. BSP member Satish Chandra Mishra demanded that the government should repeal the 3 new farm laws and also provide legal guarantee of the minimum support price on all crops, alleging that the government's intentions are not clear. Mishra slammed the government for trying to stop farmers' protest and alleged that multi-layered barricades, barbed wires and iron nails studded on roads have been put up on Delhi borders. He said if the government is ready to suspend the laws for 1.5 years, what is stopping it from withdrawing these acts? He urged the government to shed its ego and accept the farmers' demand. Shiromani Akali Dal leader Sukhdev Singh Dhinta said the Prime Minister should intervene and listen to the farmers' demands. The Akali Dal member said the government should accept the farmers' demand to repeal the 3 laws. He said all opposition parties are also demanding the same. Dhinta also said there should be a scientific method to fix the MSP. Congress leader Pratap Singh Bajwa demanded setting up of a committee headed by a Supreme Court judge to conduct an impartial probe within 2 months into the incidents on the 26th of January that led to the violence. He compared the barricade set up at the farmers' protest site at Ghazipur with the Berlin Wall and concentration camps, and took a strong objection to farmers being branded as anti-national and Khalistanis. IUML member Abdul Wahab demanded restoration of the MP Lads funds. Earlier, CPI member Binoy Vishwam hit out at the government for terming the economic crisis as an act of God and said the policies of the government are squarely responsible for the situation and not the Almighty. Putting up a strong defence, BJP member Vinay P. Sahasrabuddhe said the government is committed to the welfare of farmers and has taken a slew of steps in the last 6 years in that direction. He said that we don't work on the basis of populism. There were 11 to 12 rounds of talks, but to no avail. People are experiencing democracy of aspirations under the current government, and it's not Modi magic but Modi labour, he said, adding it was hard work by Prime Minister Narendra Modi that led to India emerging strong in every front, be it foreign policy or domestic reforms. Highlighting a series of reforms initiated under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi, he said the government has devolved powers to states and district authorities in order to ease accessibility of developmental funds. The centre is working with the vision of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas and Sabka Vishwas, he said. Congress member Anand Sharma demanded repeal of the 3 contentious farm laws. He said the economic growth was sluggish before COVID-19 affected the country and the situation worsened after the pandemic hit the nation, especially due to the lockdown which resulted in many job losses. The government is responsible for the situation, he said. In these circumstances, he stated the farmers were forced to fight for justice and their rights. On the authorities snapping internet at farmer protest sites and disrupting water and electricity supplies, Sharma said, "We have become internet shutdown capital of the world. It's time to mend ways, especially during this parliament session." BJP member KJ Alphonse said hoisting a religious flag at the Red Fort was treason. He said farmer leader Rakesh Tikait cannot get away by shedding tears after the violence during their tractor parade seeking the repeal of new farm laws. Defending the 3 new farm laws, Alphonse said there was nothing wrong with them. He also accused the opposition of sowing the seeds of dissent and hatred against the government. Interjecting on the issue, Congress leader Digvijay Singh challenged the BJP leader for a debate on the issue of minimum support price for crops. Defending the new agricultural laws strongly, BJP leader Neeraj Shekhar asked the protesting farmers to recognize people who have boycotted the presidential address and now participating in the debate to give speech on injustice meted out to farmers. "I want farmers to recognize these people. Some say they want their party to come to power in Punjab and Haryana. That's why they're giving speeches here," he said. "They don't have empathy towards you. They are talking because they want to come to power," he said, targeting the opposition. BJD leader Sasmit Patra attacked the government for not properly implementing the Swaminathan Committee report on MSP. Peri Subhash Chandra Bose of YSRCP raised state issues such as special status to Andhra Pradesh and approval of revised cost estimate of the Polavaram irrigation project. Shamsher Singh Manhas of the BJP said the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir was neglected by previous governments. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is now working towards the development of Jammu and Kashmir and is ensuring funds are available there. With that, that's all that we have in Parliament News for now. Have a good night. Up next is Sansad Samachar.